who is our purple Zerg down here in the bottom right. So we are playing GSL and Phegan shipyards, which is a little bit different. There's things like the supply depots, things like that make the versions all slightly different from each other.
You know what? Listal is actually going to tell the story right now. But he was in a PVZ last week, ZVP last week, on this exact map. And he went for a ninja expand in the middle, thinking it was gold. It wasn't gold. Similar, he's learned this lesson by one telling the story, but this is also the GSL map that does not have the gold expansions right in the middle. So Jimdaman is dropping his characteristic 10 pool, and we're seeing Listal go with this very standard build. I assume we're going to see his pool dropping fairly... Oh, it looks like... Oh no, that's probably just a scout. I was thinking maybe hatch first, but he doesn't have the minerals for that. So Jimdaman is going with the exact same build that he has gone with all two games so far. So he's just going to go ahead and go with it again. Listal's pool is down, so he's going with this very similar build to last time. So we're interested to see if he goes back into roaches, or if he goes to banelings. Maybe he likes the roaches on the smaller maps and the banelings on the larger maps. I do not know.
One base muta. Let's go. Keep it different. Always keep us guessing. Let's go. That's what I want to see. One base muta.
I would love to see one base muta, but unfortunately I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, I would doubt that. We are seeing the gas, so we'll see. Depending on... So one of the tells that Listal has, so he left that one drone on gas last time after getting his speed to get baneling. So if we're seeing that one drone on gas, it'll be a pretty safe tell as far as baneling.
That is a weird... Oh, he is proxy evo chambering him. Holy shit! He dropped a proxy evo chamber in the mineral line. Now the problem is, he actually needs to leave that until he has enough Zerglings to deal with the broodlings. Because if he clears, if he clears that up with the queen, those broodlings are actually going to do a ton of damage to the workers. What a brilliant idea by Listal.
Yeah, I haven't seen that done in a while. And realistically, this is just going to be obnoxious. It's going to force flames. It makes the minerals a little bit slower because these two patches in here, the drones are having to go further versus direct. So it's sort of ruins the money. We're going to see how many...
Excellent move by Listal, microing the broodlings. He actually only got one worker out of it, so that wasn't super worth it, if you ask me. He did force lings.
Yeah, I mean, he forced lanes, and he did disrupt the mining patterns of two of those patchers. And he sort of diverted some of his opponent's attention. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a little bit debatable, but in the meantime, he is getting his lair, so we are going to be seeing a different strategy.
If you called one base muta.
Women's intuition is all I'll say if it's one base muta.
Listal is blocking his ramp.
I expected to see a second. Oh, there's the second extractor, so it might be.
So this Zergling counterattack isn't going to get in. There's actually a spine crawler guarding the ramp too. So Listal is actually going to be pretty safe against any sort of attacks. And another spine crawler coming up. We might actually be seeing a one base muta.
We might be. I think at this point, Jimdaman, he might be wondering if something's up because there is so much defense going into keeping him from getting up the ramp. I think it'd be worth it for him to go and send an overlord down there just to sort of double check that there isn't anything strange going on. And there is the spire.
No way.
What can I say, guys? What can I say? It's women's intuition. That's what it all comes down to. There should be more female casters because we just know.
No way. Did you just send Listal a telling him to do it?
I didn't. Anyone watching the cast can even see that I didn't do it. I didn't talk to him or anything. I am just amazing.
Wow.
Alright, I'll stop tooting my own horn there, guys. I'm sure you're annoyed by that. Anyway, in the meantime, we've got an expansion going down for Jimdaman. I really was hoping to see some sort of scouting from him to see. He's got to know something's up. He hasn't seen an expansion yet, so he has to know that something is going on. something shady in the state of Denmark, but he is not trying to figure out what that is. He might be thinking, you know, a roach all in based on how Listal did sort of hint at that earlier.
See, he is not going to have very much to deal with it. He's actually not going to see it anyways, and there is the Spire completing, and we have...
on the way, we've got some Banelings. Baneling's not so good against Muta.
No.
Maybe if the queens could, like, throw them sort of like those t-shirts, you know?
Maybe if they were... Maybe if they were Scourge, it would be a different story, yeah. But unfortunately, they are not Scourge.
They are not Scourge, you know, and these games, they have energy, they can transfuse. There's 2 spine crawlers, so those spine crawlers are micro to take down those Banelings.
He's going to see those mutas and go, oh shit.
Although, you know, I'm surprised that he showed the mutas. I'm surprised he didn't just go around. I mean, there's 2 more queens in production now as a result.
We do have the Evo chambers.
Half done, and that's sort of happenstance. It looks like he's going to be getting upgrades, so that's why he's got the 2 Evo chambers.
So, I don't know what Jimdaman's actually going to be able to do here. He's going to have to micro his queens very well, get some good transfuses, and the Spore Crawlers have started. Let's see how his transfuse... Oh, he doesn't have the energy for transfuse. So he is actually going to lose at least 1 queen, if not both. And both of his queens goes down. His additional queens are up. And the Spore Crawlers are almost done. And we do have Listal taking his expansion and making a Roach Warren out of this. So this was really just kind of a gimmicky play. He's not actually going to stick with it or all in with it.
But, you know, if you look at that, it really forced 6 Spore Crawlers, it forced a couple extra queens. You know, really forced a lot of money in reaction. And I think that, you know, it's going to give him map control as well.
Absolutely.
And it's really going to keep Jimdaman quite paranoid.
Exactly. He doesn't know what's coming out of him. He can't get into his base to scout, so he doesn't know there's a Roach transition, so he may just overreact and drop down a Hydra-less den directly after this. Oh, we're going to see burrowed roaches.
Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting here.
Although, the Spore Crawlers are already down, and the Spore Crawlers are detectors, so he's not actually going to be able to get the mineral into the mineral lines with these roaches.
That's true. Unfortunately, I think he's not going to realize that it's happening. Although this expansion might get canceled.
That is a lot of lings trying to that down. Oh, and it completes, but he is going to just barely clean that up. And there are the transfuses on the hatch, so the hatchery is going to live.
Yeah,
see another day.
I think the thing here with the burrowed movement, though, you know, there's not going to be any vision on the map, so he's not going to know that there's this roach transition until they're in his, you know, main killing his stuff.
We do have infestors.
There's not going to be any real reaction to it.
We have an infestation pit coming up for Jimdaman. So this is actually an interesting transition. It's going to do... Wait a minute. We have spine crawlers crossing the map. Well then. So,
slowly but surely they're making their way there.
1 base mutas into burrowed roaches and a spine crawler rush? Okay.
Entertaining. I think this is one he wants you viewers to be enjoying out there.
Absolutely. He is definitely trying to entertain here. So he's fairly confident in this game, though, in this matchup, than if he is doing this. And it looks like we have the roaches, the lings, and the mutas all attacking. Only 5 lings, and the spine crawlers are positioned to where they're going to go, but they are going to take a long time to get there.
Yeah, spine crawlers are sort of like the grandmas with walkers of the Zerg world there.
Yeah, they don't move very quickly.
They're just waiting to line up at Country Buffet at 5 a.m.
Get their mashed potatoes with gravy.
I know, right? Our Country Buffet here has an all-you-can-eat taco bar.
That's pretty sweet. So the spine crawlers are starting to burrow, and those are some actually really good Baneling hits on those Zerglings. And
2 spine crawlers actually go down.
Yeah, 2 of them made it in.
One of them through. The other one's like stuck above it.
Those are excellent transfuses on the queen.
Burrow over a creep tumor, maybe? Got stuck there.
I don't know. We do have the infestors out. but the Infestors do not have enough energy to do, well, really anything that's going to help here. We do have a fungal there on the roaches, and some infested Terrans being dropped. I actually think Jimdaman may clean this up. Those 2 spine crawlers are going to be a pain in the ass. So he's going to have to get those down, and there's the roach burrow. They're just going to heal up, pop back out as they need to do damage. But it looks like both those spine crawlers are going to get taken care of. That's actually a lot more roaches than I thought. We still have 6, 7 roaches, 8 roaches up, and there's the GG.